You can't use the company TV for your switch. Sounds good to me. This will probably get lost in new, but thought I'd share what felt like a solid victory today. I work for a pretty well-known home improvement store, and we have a break room in the back with a TV for us to watch programs and sitcoms on our break. On this particular day, no one was using the TV, it was turned off and everyone was on their phones, so I figured that there was no harm in plugging in my switch and sharing the fun of letting people have a go at it. While I'm watching people play, my supervisor walks in and sees the setup. She informs me that this is the company's TV, so you can't use it for personal entertainment. Big bummer, since people were having fun, but I can't lose my job, so I pack up my switch. That day on my way home from work, I pass by a house that has a massive honking old school CRT TV out front that they're giving away for free. It's bigger than the TV that we have at my job and it still works. The next day I haul this massive TV out of my car and into the break room. I get a few odd looks, but I don't care. Too focused on complying with the rules. I plug this sucker into the wall right underneath our company TV, now tiny in comparison to the CRT, and hook up my switch to it for people to play. Supervisor walks in and sees people playing on a bigger monitor. I'm not using the company TV, but I am using an even bigger personal TV. People are playing the switch and having a good time. She tries to say something about how I'm blocking the view or causing disruption in the break room, but the other TV is turned off anyways and people are watching intensely as two co-workers are racing around in Mario Kart, so I don't really think it was that big of a deal. Not really sure if I'm gonna get a strike for this or not, but it'll be worth it if I do, and I think I might be able to argue that I followed the rules. Part of me expects that this TV will mysteriously disappear and that security will have no footage of who might have taken it, which will be funny since it's so big, but it's the thought that counts. Edit. Thank you for the platinum. What do I do with it?
Now to the comments. What the duck is the TV in there for then? You're on break, that's personal time. Chances are, you're using the TV for personal entertainment.
Exactly. Our manager at Circuit City back in the day brought in a bigger TV that was defective, if you get my drift. When they saw us playing on a tiny TV, a good manager can make or break an entire store. I worked there much longer than I initially thought, even part-time, because it was not a place I dreaded going. Same manager got us a basketball hoop out back too.
Yup. I work in a warehouse, but still it applies the same. When I got hired, the shift supervisor was stepping down for various reasons. The next supervisor was a total dick and everyone hated him. Groups of people would sometimes go home sick because he pissed them off. I had car problems one day on the way in and he treated me like I was just dicking off. I came in with my car on a flatbed tow truck. After he was asked to step down, morale went back up. I never understood the mindset people like your manager have. You're on break, so long as you're not disturbing anyone, do whatever the duck you want. Happy employees are productive employees. Hell, my employer lets me take breaks whenever I want. Need to run an errand during work hours? Go for it. So long as your job gets done, who cares? As a result, I often happily work through lunch or stay late if needed. It'll get made up later on.
Exactly. I'm usually working away at my desk all day, so my manager is fine with me taking an earlier train home and even tells me not to work when I get home.
There was a bit of an urgent situation with a client last weekend. My boss called me about it. I spent 15 minutes on the phone with him, sent a couple emails, total of 30 minutes of work, no biggie. Monday, he handed me $200 cash and apologized for interrupting my Saturday. Dang straight, I'll give up a lunch or grab a later bus one night if asked. I know I'm appreciated and my time respected. I'll return the favor anytime. I get it. You switched TVs.
I see what you did there.
We saw what you did there. A happy workplace? Colleagues bonding with each other? Can't be having that. I once had a supervisor try to report me for hooking up my laptop to the big screen break room TV to play video games during our lunch hour. At 2:30 a.m. The manager looked at him like he was crazy and told him to shut up. I'm surprised you didn't get shot down by being told you aren't allowed to plug in unapproved or personal devices. It's the company paying the electricity after all. I knew a guy that worked a regional office of a big corporate type place. He said someone had brought in a coffee machine on their own dime since they couldn't seem to get one officially. I think this might have been a bit fancier than a basic drop coffee which they did have provided, like espresso machine, but beside the point. Whenever someone from corporate was coming into the office they had to unplug/hide it because it wasn't an approved device. I hope they let you keep your TV and continue to play Switch. You found a CRT HDMI input?
I used to have a big old Philips CRT with an HDMI input.
Try asking if they'd like to have a go and explain the benefits of employee connection and camaraderie. You know, some shitty spool of the sorts. Good God, your supervisor sounds miserable and exhausting. Can't use the company TV for personal use. Is watching it not personal use? If the TV goes missing, and security has no footage, ask our/legal advice if they're obligated to show the footage or not. You should email corporate, and inform them how much happier, as well as efficient and motivated, workers are after enjoying their breaks in this wonderful manner. Perhaps you could go as far as to recommend it in their other stores, just to get the point across. I'd be curious to see the outcome. I would have just asked if they wanted next race. How did you hook the Switch dock up to the CRT? I don't remember any of my CRTs having HDMI ports. I would have just let them play on the Switch, LOL. Had the same thing happen at my job, but I just bought a TV from a pawn shop near my house. Keep in mind the electrical appliance will probably need a test tag from an electrician to ensure safety rules. Hey dude, don't start with "this will probably get lost in new," it's cringe. As CRT TVs don't have HDMI, how did you connect it up?
Actually, some of the later model CRT TVs had HDMI ports. Fairly uncommon to find one with the option though. Some of these CRTs even support 1080i and 1080p resolutions. Lots of companies sell HDMI to composite and HDMI to component adapters as well.
If I get one of those cables, could I connect my original Xbox to my Xbox One by HDMI in? Want to use my new Xbox S controllers, headsets, etc., while playing my old games, e.g. Spider-Man 2. I'd be careful. You're technically stealing company electricity to power that setup. Depending on your country, you may also need all electrical devices professionally safety tested before they can be plugged in.
This is so goddang/r/late stage capitalism.
Then get fired for stealing company resources, electricity. What's the deal with your supervisor? She sounds like a crappy boss. Hope you don't mind, but I X posted to r/screw you bless them.